Everyone, thanks so much for being with us. We just witnessed the mayor complete his 5th State of the County address with the theme, Taking It to the Next Level. He is joined by Commissioners Nicole Wilson, Christine Moore, Commissioner Maribel Gomez Cordero, and Commissioner Mike Scott. Who did I miss? I know, and we do not certainly want to forget Congressman Maxwell Frost is joining us here today. Welcome, Commissioner, to our press conference. So the mayor will give a few brief comments, and he will open it up for questions, and he will also allow any of the commissioners or the congressman, if he so desires, to make some comments. Mayor Demings.
All right, let me just say good morning. I think it's still morning at this time to all of you. I'm honored to be here with my colleagues, the elected officials who are here, who have to wrestle with the issues of our community on a day-to-day basis to make Orange County a better place for all of us. So today, this event was all about telling the story from last year, this time when we did the State of the County, and for that succeeding 12 months, it's about telling you what is happening in our community. We had ups, we had some downs, but we are indeed going to the next level, and so that was a narrative. We wanted the members of our community to help us tell that story and not us just tell the story for them. So we integrated the community into this State of the County. We will be glad to respond to any questions that you may have. Any of us are willing to take questions at this time. So any questions? Okay, the question is, what do I believe is contributing to the TDT apparent slowdown? What is happening is something that is really expected. We have had, I believe, 14 consecutive months of increases in our tourist development tax revenues. That, quite frankly, is not sustainable over time because we had historic highs in each one of those months. And in either case, this past month, with over $30 million that came in for the last month, I should say, that we have whole numbers for, which is April, that's still a really good number. That's still one of the historic highs when you look at it in retrospect since we have been collecting the TDT. So it's not a number that we have to really be necessarily concerned about. It's still a really good number for us, which indicates that our tourist development taxes are strong based upon the tourism visits within our community. And we just hit the summer months. So we know that during the summer months, our visitations really go up. This is not a period of time where we tend to lag. So I want our residents to be encouraged. Because of the tourist development tax receipts, it will allow us to do some other things, make other improvements within our community to spend those dollars to the benefit of all 1.5 million people of our county.
Mayor.
Yes.
It's your favorite pesky reporter.
I think you've been around as long as I've been around.
Very close. So speaking of tourism, DeSantis is.
Okay.
Your thoughts on that?
Okay, so that's always like the elephant in the room these days is what impact, I believe is the question, what impact is the politics of the state of Florida having on our tourism numbers? So I just kind of say it differently here. At this point, it's not having a significant impact, but it is having some impact. We are seeing different shows and conventions who have planned to come here, who are contracted to come here, and others who are considering coming here, asking us questions about the character, the culture of our community. And I've had to, quite frankly, in the last several weeks, respond to that to reassure different associations and conventions that we are a welcoming, open, caring community. So part of the narrative of the State of the County today was to personify that as a community, that is truly our character here. And so I want people to tell that story. We do not want to be negatively impacted. Tourism is a $74 to $75 billion industry for us here within Central Florida. So that is really significant. We have to take care of our bread and butter while we endeavor to diversify our economy. It would not be in our best interest long term to damage our brand as being a family-friendly destination for people to come and visit from around the world. That means that we have to show ourselves inclusive of all people, regardless of their ethnic origin, background, or sexual orientation, or any of those other descriptors. We have to be that community, and we are that community.
But Mayor, what do you think about, what are your thoughts on being put in that position? You have taken a full circle, Disney, LGBTQ.
In terms of being put into the position, it is something that we could have done without. We do not want to see I think cultural wars going on, not in America. We don't want to see it in Florida. We certainly don't want to see that in our community, because that is where the strength of our nation rests. We are the United States of America, and we are that country that has been inclusive and welcoming for people from around the world. That's how we have built ourselves as arguably as the strongest nation in the world. That is how we have built this community. And so whenever we damage that, it is not in our best interest. So I wish it was something that wasn't happening, but the fact of the matter, it is. Okay, Commissioner Wilson would love to say something, and any of the other electeds here who would like to speak to it, I think it's appropriate for you to hear from all of them. Commissioner Wilson.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mayor, and thank you for asking the question. I really think it's important that we are very clear that when, especially these things are taking place on a national stage, people need to remember that the organizations that we know as Disney and Universal and the Convention Center, they're made up of and worked by our people, my residents. I'm District 1, Disney's right there. And those people are anxious because that is their place of employment. Many of them moved here and built families here, have homes here, go to our schools here, volunteer for their county here. And so this is their livelihood. So when we talk about these entities, and I don't like the term culture wars, because quite frankly, I think it almost minimizes what is really some discriminatory action and then also some retribution in politics. And so I want our residents to know we are here for them. We represent the local government, and that won't ever change.
You know, I'd say it's sad to see someone like Governor DeSantis, someone who claims to be part of the party of small government, someone who claims to be pro-business, preempting small governments and municipalities from doing what they need to do for the people, passing laws and using and weaponizing the state government to attack one of our largest employers, and then putting our commissioners and our mayor in weird positions. This is the reality of what's going on now. We have a governor who's more interested in running for president than running the state of Florida. And that's why he's chosen these set of issues, whether it's banning books or attacking Disney, because he believes it's going to help him out-Trump Trump. What we want to do is focus on what the people want: housing, jobs, wages, the environment. When you talk to the average Central Floridian, these are the things on the top of their mind. And so it's very unfortunate, and it just showcases the hypocrisy of our governor, but also at the same time shows the work ethic of our local government, of our mayors, of our commissioners, that despite all that mumbo-jumbo going on, they're still doing the work to fight for the people, and I think that's important.
Up there. You couldn't have missed something you said on social media. Who was at a concert?
He said what he said.
I said what I said, and look.
Okay, and you know,
Yeah, look. I'll say this. You know, right before I went to that show, I was reading about the immigrant workers and the immigrant families who have been targeted by Governor DeSantis. A week before that, we were looking at Amanda Gorman, whose poem was taken off the shelves in Miami. And oftentimes, rock music inspires that righteous rage in all of us. But what I'll say is this: it's important that we do the work. You know, yesterday I had a town hall talking about gun violence with Commissioner Mike Scott, a few other folks, and what we heard from people is they're scared. They're scared. But when we take a step back and we look at the issue of gun violence and all these issues, the work that the county commission and the mayor are doing as far as ensuring people have good wages, good jobs, economic opportunity, transportation, and good housing, that's how we're going to fix the state of Florida. And so I'm less concerned with the show that the governor is putting on to try to out-Trump Trump and more concerned with the work going on here in Central Florida.
But what kind of righteous rage brought you there? I mean, I'm honest.
Yeah.
What kind of righteous rage brought you
I mean, you saw just less than a week ago right here in Central Florida, there were thousands of migrant workers and organizers that came together to fight against these bigoted laws that are targeting minorities because the governor is using his position to try to run for president. And that's the righteous rage that not just I have, but Floridians across this entire state have. And so I think to tap into that, number one, shows the people that we're people too. But I think the second thing is it's what you do right after it. I used to say that, I'm an organizer and I've done a lot of marches, and I always said the march is important, but what you do after is just as important. Thank you.
Any other media questions? Anybody else?
So I do want to answer her question, what position you put us in. First, welcome to District 6. More specifically, welcome to the Center of Hospitality. That's where you're at. I don't think whether it's political, whether it's social, we're not put in any position because we're well equipped to respond to everything in this community. We're a part of this community. When you talk about mayor bringing different people together, whether it's small nonprofits, large businesses, to find out what's the best solution for all our parties. When you talk about Commissioner Cordero and doing things in mental health and homeless, Commissioner Wilson doing things with the environment, Commissioner Moore working with our communities, we are well equipped to respond to anything that our community needs because we are a part of our community, but more importantly, we are involved and engaged. And so whatever the challenge is, whatever the burden is, we're not put in any position that we can't work together to solve. And that's why I'm proud to be a part of this commission. I'm proud to be here with Mayor Demings and our federal partners like Congressman Maxwell Frost. So we're not in any position that we can't get out of and serve our community 100%. So thank you.
Question over here.
Mayor, when it comes to the small business and Get Worker Grant program, what are some of the next steps for those to start accepting applications again?
So we are, the question is regarding the small business grant program and grants that will be made available to home-based businesses and to gig workers. That is an opportunity for us to make certain that we provide resources and assistance to those in our community who work within those respective areas so that hopefully we can have a positive impact on not seeing the kind of economic fallout that we saw with the pandemic. We want to strengthen them and provide them with some resources. We're thankful to have received some federal funds to be able to assist us in that way. So you're going to see it's going to require some qualifications, some paperwork to be completed, but it is a money that we will have available. We'll be announcing all of the mechanics of that. We believe that it will help to move the needle. It will help to take our community to the next level and give those who probably need a little assistance the most some help in that process. So that's what you're going to hear. We'll have the details. We'll roll them out in the very near future.
Any other questions?
How did you get such a good-looking commission? Such great people. I mean, I love it when
That's
you
a
smile.
compliment, commissioners, right?
I see you smile. All those tough questions, and a good smile. Last time, it was the greatest thing you guys when you sang what you said together, remember?
Yes, sir. Well,
Great place to live. We're open for business. It was fabulous. The video looks wonderful.
so thank you for the vote of confidence. That's one of our residents who's speaking. Do we have any other questions at this time? If there are no other questions from the media, this will conclude this press opportunity. And let me just say from the bottom of my heart, thank you all for being here. Thank you for being receptive to the message. Thank you for being able to help us demonstrate the civility that we have regardless of one's political affiliation. At the end of the day, we are all Americans. We are all citizens of our county working to the betterment of all people here. Thank you so much.